So one of the youth leaders in ZANU-PF, that is Kandishaya, has surprisingly actually tried to speak some sense to those who are insulting retired General Chiwenga. It must be understood that as soon as we heard that during the Politburo, retired General Chiwenga came up with a dossier demanding for the Zwikanandas to be arrested, citing numerous occasions where they have actually done corruption. And from there, we saw Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa diverting from campaigning for 2030, seemingly giving orders to the Central Committee to push for 2028, something that surprised a lot of people. And even today, as I'm speaking, as well as on Friday, we saw ZANU-PF, especially Mnangagwa faction, launching numerous attacks, particularly on retired General Chiwenga. You can talk of the ZANU-PF Secretary for War Veterans, who has deflected from other war veterans, has also been at loggerheads with retired General Chiwenga, your Owen Mutas, and they have actually brought in Themba Mliswa to be also on their side. But Kandishaya may be realizing that things are not going according to the plan of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, and also realizing that as much as retired General Chiwenga is most of the times quiet, not speaking and retaliating in spite of numerous attempts to provoke him, that doesn't look like he is weak. And at the moment, I must attest to you that the temperatures in ZANU-PF are actually rising up. And the Kandisha surprised a lot of people. He's one of the people who have been singing about 2030 mantra, one of the individuals who started the 2030 mantra, but he has actually urged the Mnangagwa faction members not to insult retired General Chiwenga, citing that insulting retired General Chiwenga is as good as insulting Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. Now is he, opening his eyes all of a sudden? Does he see that water is not flowing to the side of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa? Most probably, this is a ZANU-PF youth that is trying to tread carefully. Is he not afraid of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa? I think he played smart. He equally sympathized with Mnangagwa as he equally sympathized with retired General Chiwenga. So nobody amongst the two will feel actually insulted. I think but it must be difficult to be a member of ZANU-PF. Just imagine being a card-carrying member of ZANU-PF, and especially a ZANU-PF leader, be it at cell or district, now with factionalism roaring its head, especially concerning the succession dispute. You wonder who exactly to support. And by the way, what determines your political future, good political future, is actually to strategically position yourself with one of the factions that stands a chance to win. It's unlike maybe us, people who are commenting from outside, who have no interest at all. These are people with interest in ZANU-PF. These are people who are looking forward to continue, be it looting or receiving whatever they are receiving. So Kandishaya saying that it does come really as a surprise. Does it mean he has crossed the other line, or does it mean actually he is trying? It must be very difficult, especially for the youths in ZANU-PF. We've seen previously those who learn from history, the youths who were supporting Robert Gabriel Mugabe doing all the dirty work, like Yoma Tutu and others doing the dirty work for Robert Gabriel Mugabe. When Robert Gabriel empire crumbles, also their political future crumbles. Mnangagwa is not trusting them. He is not bringing them anywhere near ZANU-PF structures. Of course, they have been taken to the Herbert Chitepo School of Ideology, completed that, but the faction of Mnangagwa, by virtue of the fact that they were twerking then for Robert Gabriel Mugabe, these individuals cannot be trusted by Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. So it must be a very, very difficult, actually, thing to be a leader of ZANU-PF, be it in the youth, be it in the cells, be it in the district, because as Blessed Geza said, now you have to choose where you are. You have to choose whether you are with Chiwenga or you are with Mnangagwa. You can't be even in the center. Well, while it's told to choose, at the same time, the faction of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa is leaving no stones unturned, especially on those who are seemingly crossing the other line. I've told you what Mnangagwa has actually done to this youth minister, that is Tinoma Chakairi, that he actually gave him the hardest time with his wife, whereby they were questioning his loyalty, saying he has done a lot of things, they've been keeping quiet, but it appears is part of the retired General Chiwenga. The man was actually put to the corner, told all sorts of things, according to our intel, which is always, by the way, reliable. So you can see that at the moment, I mean, there is a lot of chaos in ZANU-PF. Some are, confused as your Kandishaya. They're actually, I'm sure, asking themselves where to go now that the party is this divided. And some, they were doubting it, especially when it came out that during the Politburo it was no child's play. Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa was trembling, and retired General Chiwenga came and he meant business in actually confronting Zwikanandas. Now it was no longer a thing of the speech whereby he will read a speech and talk about them. He demanded them to be arrested. We are still waiting to see whether they will be necessary arrest. As much as the supporters of Mnangagwa are treating some of them very dangerously, some of them being cautious, because Blessed Geza have told them that, remember, Mnangagwa is not someone whom you can trust. He will use you and actually leave you alone and say and disown you, giving them numerous examples of how he dumped individuals such as July Moyo, individuals such as Professor Jonathan Moyo, in what is popularly known as the declaration, Cholocho declaration, whereby they were initially planning the first coup, which foiled, and Mnangagwa sold each and everyone who was involved in the process. That's why you saw individuals such as Professor Jonathan Moyo being axed from ZANU-PF, only to return and to pick a fight by that time with with Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. So quite interesting. I can tell you a lot are actually thinking twice when it comes to ZANU-PF factionalism. And going into the conference, already the drama has begun. As I'm speaking to you, there are a lot of stories that are happening underground. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button, so that next time when we beam live, guess what? You become